I don't agree with that at all. In fact, to show magnanimity, show big-heartedness, is not the sign of a doormat. This is a party that has said, we have the larger picture in mind. We are thinking of the country first. And where we have a coalition arrangement, we believe that making concessions in the interests of the larger alliance is not a defeat or a surrender. It is a sign of large-heartedness, a willingness to accommodate, and a willingness to move forward. So I am very happy that we have two strong allies. In fact, yesterday at Varsha Gaikwad's rally, it was impressive to see the Shiv Sena out in great strength, great numbers, including Aditya himself on the vehicle with us. Similarly, even for Bhushan Patil's roadshow, our allies are there with us. They are standing by us, they're standing along with us, and it's because they see mutual respect. In BJP's NDA, there is no mutual respect. And that's why when embarrassingly, almost humiliatingly, Mr. Modi went after the Akali Dal and the BJD, both parties spurned him and said, no, we would prefer to contest on our own. That's because they've seen the experience of what it is like to work with the BJP. Whereas we believe that the parties whom we have shown respect to, they will show us respect when the time comes to form the coalition government of India after the 4th of June.
So you are talking about coalition government. What is your PM candidate? Who will be the face of...
That is going to emerge from the coalition, my dear lady. We are not talking about a presidential system in our country. I'm sorry to say Mr. Modi is running the parliamentary system presidentially, which is the worst of both worlds. In a parliamentary system, and those of you who have studied politics around the world, you know this, is that in a parliamentary system, you vote not for an individual, you vote for parties, ideologies, principles, and policies. And at the end of all of that, what happens is that the victorious parties will come together and identify a suitable leader that enjoys the support of all of them, probably based on a common minimum program. And at the same time, as we saw in 2004, we may get a very successful result. Dr. Manmohan Singh ran an excellent coalition government for 10 years. Even though I say it, I'll say Mr. Vajpayee did a very good job of managing a 26-party coalition for 6 years. So coalition governments are nothing for the country to worry about. They are, in fact, the track record of coalition governments in India shows that economic growth has been better under coalition governments than under single-party governments. So I will say that we are not at all worried about this. There will be a Prime Minister, but that Prime Minister will function collegially as a first among equals. And I have no concern at all in my mind. In fact, I think, again, as I said, like 2004, some parties that have campaigned alongside us in the election and some parties that have campaigned against us or separately from us in the election will all come together in the larger interests of stopping the BJP and the NDA coming back.
Rahul Gandhi has challenged PM Modi and asked him for a face-off, for a debate. What's your take on it?
I think, frankly, it's important for the nation to realize that what we have in this country is a Prime Minister who has never held an open press conference in his entire life. He used to call our Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. But Dr. Manmohan Singh not only held 3 or 4 press conferences every year in Delhi, every foreign trip he took, he held an impromptu press conference on the plane where the journalists could ask him anything they like. That is true democracy. That is accountability of the elected leadership to the people. Other than scripted interviews on television where everything is already pre-arranged with very sympathetic interviewers, where have you seen Mr. Modi answering completely unprepared, unscripted questions spontaneously? So when 3 people, 2 retired justices and 1 senior editor, wrote to both sides saying, please participate in the debate, answer the nation's questions and answer each other's questions, Rahul Gandhi immediately replied saying either he or the Congress president would be happy to do so. But Mr. Modi has not replied. And I'm convinced that if Mr. Modi replies, we will have a very good discussion because we know what we're talking about. The Congress party, the president, as well as the former president, the leader, know what the issues are. And they're very willing to confront Mr. Modi on these issues. I don't know how much Mr. Modi is going to be able to do without a script in front of him, without a teleprompter in front of him. Yeah. Zara sa awaaz badhana.
I hear from the Hindu. So I just wanted to ask you, see, Bombay has been a bastion of Shiv Sena.
Yeah.
And you were Congress was considered as an arch rival.
Yes.
And this is for the first time you guys are coming together. Do you think the vote Shiv Sena, is the Congress concerned about the Shiv Sena vote?
You mean the transferability of votes? No, I think we rely on the Shiv Sena, which has a tight organizational structure, to deliver on that. I mean, the truth is that in these matters, history is never the best guide. Because when parties that were not previously allied come together, a new culture has to be born. I find that at the top, the dialogue is excellent. Aditya Thackeray, very, very friendly with all our leaders in Maharashtra. Uddhavji, I have not had a chance to see, but I believe the same is true. And certainly, with Pawar Sahab, we've had a very long and close association. So my own view is that I don't think we need to worry about that. But even if there was any hesitation, the answer is that when you have a tightly knit organization, and we all know that when the Shiv Sena split occurred, the bulk of the party Karyakartas remained with the Uddhav Thackeray faction. Yeah, and therefore I would say that they should be able to deliver the vote transfers as required, just as our own voters have shown a great deal of willingness to rally behind the Shiv Sena candidates where they are required. It's a mutual give and take.
So Kejriwal has attacked Prime Minister Narendra Modi and said that his age of retirement is coming soon. Is he asking votes for Amit Shah or what he is actually doing?
Well, it was interesting. We saw two statements, one after the other, right? We saw Amit Shah saying that Mr. Modi insists that everyone step down at 75. And then the next day we saw Mr. Amit Shah saying Mr. Modi will continue till 2029. So journalists should ask Mr. Amit Shah which one is correct. I mean, I think you shouldn't be asking the Congress. I think Mr. Kejriwal is right to point this contradiction out. That if Mr. Modi turns 75 in 2025, September, and that is according to whatever date of birth is officially on the record. We know that Mr. Modi, with his date of birth and his educational qualifications, there are various versions, but be that as it may. In September 2025, are we going to see a change of Prime Minister? Or is there going to be an exception for one man? But let me say, in any case, we don't have to wait till September 2025. There will be a change of Prime Minister in June of 24.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं मानक गुप्ता। अगर आपको हमारा ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो इसे लाइक और शेयर जरूर करें और हां, हमें सब्सक्राइब और फॉलो करना ना भूलें ताकि आप देश और दुनिया की कोई खबर मिस ना करें। तो जुड़े रहिए हमारे साथ और देखते रहिए News24।